Hey Spirit Inspired people, it's SewImani here. Welcome back to another Spirit Inspired Talk. If you are here for the first time, then please do consider pressing that subscribe button and joining the journey of self-improvement and taking spirit inspired actions that will ultimately give us the best lives. So we're at the beginning of a new year, and today I just wanted to talk about how a new year should signify a change in you, or a change in your mindset, or a change in something. There should be an element of change with every year that passes by. And I wanted to explain why I think that. Because it was something that I noticed at the beginning of this year, after the year that was 2020. Instead of what we're normally used to, which is, the popular new year, it's a new me, I rather saw a lot of captions saying, New Year, same me. So I was trying to understand why that was trending. And I think what it was trying to do was to lift that pressure that many people were feeling, that they were unable to achieve a lot of their goals last year, and to not feel that with this new year of 2021 that they had to come up with big goals or new resolutions to make up for maybe a less productive year before. And I understand that, because you do see it in the advertising at the beginning of a new year. Join the gym, lose the weight you gained over Christmas. It's a fresh start, so you absolutely must have new goals. And it can feel like pressure. However, if there is going to be any time in a year to reflect and evaluate areas of your life, then I think the beginning of a year is a good one. I think we all get that sense of a fresh start in the new year, and though you shouldn't feel obliged to make bold plans and statements about what you're going to achieve, I do believe that every year should bring a change in you. You've had a whole 12 months of experiences, whether new, no matter big or small, but you should be able to look back and ask, what changes have I seen in myself this year? Even if you're in a new job, you do a yearly appraisal with your manager. I remember I used to really hate doing mine because achievements that I noted were never taken into account or reviewed. But, to me, it was just another formality that had to be done. But if an appraisal is important in the workplace, then it is definitely important to do an appraisal of your life. That could actually help you come to the conclusion that you need to leave your job and move on to do, bigger and better things. 2020 was indeed an exceptionally different year for all of us. But what changes have you seen in yourself, your character, your way of thinking, ideology? Have you developed, grown in any way? I saw a resilience in myself that I never thought I had. To study and pass exams during a pandemic, to handle to the best of my ability the task of homeschooling and spending so much time with my children, which was hard, but a blessing too. We had what happened with George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter movement. We had the pandemic itself and all that information that we were taking in because of it. Maybe you've had to live on a tighter budget this year. So we've been forced to manage our money better, or you've really come to appreciate the things you value the most in your life, valuing the people in your life, the environment that you're in. And I've thought more about sustainability this year and how wasteful I've been in the past, because I haven't had to search the shops for toilet roll before. In fact, I don't think any of us can be the same after last year. But like I said, last year was exceptional, but really every year should bring about some level of growth and change in your life. I don't think it's an achievement to say, oh, you know what, I haven't changed in 15 years. I'm set in my ways. There's nothing more for me to learn. And some people are like that. They have barely changed their underwear in 15 years, never mind anything else. And I'm not quite sure why that would be something to be proud of. You haven't evolved in any way in 12 months. I think that's a problem. Evaluating your year helps you define your goals that are specific to you and your realistic abilities, not what everybody else is doing or what you think you should be doing because you've been comparing yourself to others. And that is definitely the wrong thing to do. If Abigail managed to lose 50 pounds in 6 months by cutting out every carb ever invented, then it does not mean that it's the same route you should take. You can have the same goal, but you might have to go about it differently for it to work for you. I really wanted to complete a qualification I was studying last year, but for obvious reasons I couldn't. But because of what I learned about myself last year and the strategies I used to pass my previous exams, I'm confident that I can complete it. Later than I planned, but I'm not going to let that discourage me. Meanwhile, looking back in 2009, when I tried to complete a similar qualification, I gave up as soon as I had my first child because I felt I couldn't cope and I just couldn't find the encouragement I needed to keep going. And that's the difference between 11 years later to now. I've changed. I've matured. I've become mentally stronger. And that's growth. And it's a good thing. The very fact that I'm sat in front of this camera, putting myself out there, sharing these videos is a result of change in me. I was talking to a friend recently and they had been looking at my Instagram account, my YouTube videos, and were like, wow, Imani, you've come a long way. I remember when you first started your blog in around 2017, you really inspired me to just keep going with the things I'm doing. And I was touched because I remember very well when I first started my blog, I was going around to friends, colleagues at work, begging them to take a picture of their outfits so I could put it on my blog because that was a concept at that time. It's changed since then, but that's how I started. And I'm sure people thought I was crazy, possibly still do, but who cares? I'm really proud of what I've done so far, and it's evolving and it's improving. Whether it be the equipment I'm using, my confidence, my creativity, I'm constantly taking stock and trying to find ways where I can improve. Another benefit of evaluating your year is that you can get that wonderful feeling when you can see where you have improved and grown, and clap for yourself, celebrate your achievements. Such an important step in growth is recognizing when you are making progress. And you might not even recognize it, but those who are watching do. So I encourage you to not live a stagnant life. We're talking about taking spirit-inspired actions. Action is a doing word, as my son would say. We are making the necessary steps to living our best lives. And as always, we are doing it in style.